So let's go ahead and talk now about what happens when there's an outbreak at our schools. So now that our school has measles, all unvaccinated children and staff members now have to miss school for 21 days. So all of your teachers who have not been vaccinated now have to have substitutes for 21 days. So not only are you having to get a sub for a long period of time, now they have to be long-term subs, which also now causes Kelly Service to be paying more money. So instead of your base pay for your regular sub, you have to get someone that's certified to be in there for more than 21 days. You get past your 10 or 11 days, their pay gets bumped up, and now you are paying for basically another full-time teacher. Not to mention what our children are going to be missing in 21 days. There's so much that happens within these 3-4 weeks that they're going to be missing. There's going to be tests, there's going to be information, there's going to be new skills that they're completely missing out on because they're not vaccinated. So even if this child doesn't have measles, now they still have to miss 21 days of school. It doesn't matter if they've gotten sick or not, they're missing school. So these children have now been put in a situation where they're behind all their other friends. If you have children that are in the older grades, now they're taking a risk on our standardized tests that they're not going to be scoring as high, which in return affects the school. We also have to look at it money-wise. It's also costing our schools because now they have to reach out to parents. They have to reach out to the community. They have to post posters saying that our school is carrying measles now. Like, we have to sanitize the classrooms. We have to make sure that our school gets treated that way no one else is getting sick. So in a couple of other states as well, it's also come out that staff and administration are now testing their teachers with a blood test. So if there's been a case of the measles that has broken out at your school, now your teachers who cannot provide record that they have vaccinations are being blood tested to show the trace amounts of vaccination that's still within their body. So not only now are we paying for everything else to sanitize the school, to get the substitutes, to make sure that our children are safe, now we're blood testing teachers, which is, again, going to cost the school system money. This is going to cost the government money. So not just talking about health and being sick and there even being a possibility that your child could pass away from this, but now looking at it as a business state, we're losing money. Your child is not getting the education that they need. We're losing out on a lot of things just because parents aren't vaccinating. So next we're going to talk about some common myths. These are things that have been completely debunked. They're things that don't happen anymore that is getting put out into our communities that's misinformation. So my child may get autism. That is a complete lie. It doesn't happen like that. Your child is not going to get autism from a vaccination. It actually recently came out a couple of years ago that the study that said that children get autism from vaccinations was completely a lie. He swayed the the results of his findings to show what he wanted it to show. Children do not get autism from vaccinations. We also have to look at my child may have brain damage from vaccinations. Your child's not going to get brain damage from vaccinations. It's something that never happens. I don't think there's ever been a legitimate case to say that my child has gotten brain damage for the specific reason of vaccinations. We also have to look at, my child does not need this because it is no longer a threat. It's no longer a threat because we were vaccinated a couple of years ago. In 2000, there were no more measles. They were gone. They didn't exist anymore. It wasn't a threat. We didn't have to do it, but snaps for our vaccination because apparently it did its job, but it did its job so well that now we're like, we don't need it, we're fine, which we do. Vaccinate your children. And we also have to talk about the myth that vaccinations aren't well tested. If it wasn't well tested, they wouldn't be giving it to children. They're not trying to hurt your children, they're trying to help your children. Because if they thought that vaccinating your children was a bad idea, and that this wasn't going to save them money, they wouldn't do it. The government looks to save money. The government looks to look good. They don't want your child sick. They want your children in school so they are learning and being a part of society and doing good things. They want your children to succeed because it makes our country succeed. So basically we're going to end on the 5 important reasons to vaccinate. This is from our government's website. This is basically like 5 reasons as to why you should be vaccinating your child. So they can save your child's life, which is priority number 1. Our children need to be safe. We put our children in a car seat for a long period of time. We put a seatbelt on them. We make sure that they wear a helmet when they're on a bike. Make sure that they're protected from things that can kill them. Just because you can't see it inside of them doesn't mean that it's not going to happen. Most measles cases get pushed to the side and aren't paid attention to because they start off as looking like the flu and looking like a cold and looking like an upper respiratory system infection. Number 2, they are safe and effective. They are. Do it. Number 3, protect others around you. Don't be selfish. Protect the other people around you. We want to make sure that everyone is healthy. Number 4, it'll save your family time and money. You're not going to the doctor as much if your child isn't sick. And number 5, we are protecting our future generations. Don't let what happened in 2000 to now happen to other generations. It was gone in 2000. Let's make it gone again in the next couple of years. Let's get rid of it so that our children's children can be healthy. So, and that is my presentation on vaccination. So please vaccinate your child. Within the upcoming Nearpod, you're going to have an article, there's a Kahoot, there's a couple of interactive things to go ahead and start on. And then there will also be a copy of the PowerPoint if you would like to read through it yourself. Thank you so much. Have a good night.